We're on. Okay, so it's the morning after. We got back from Africa yesterday, and I wanted to do a debrief with you and get some of your impressions about what you saw there. And there's a lot to reflect on. We're going to try maybe around 6 or 7 minutes just have a discussion about our trip to Wonder Afrika, Uganda, etc. So, so let's start with that. So, impressions. What really stood out to you as, like something you didn't expect?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let me start first by saying, as you know, I have left the country a lot in my life.
You're a world traveler.
I've been all over Southeast Asia, all over Latin America. I've been to Europe, many places. So there were some things in Uganda that I recognized immediately as like, oh, this is the developing world, right? But something I picked up on right away at Wonder Afrika was, first of all, I think the situation with orphans in Uganda is different than what I have seen in other places before.
Yeah, there are still to this day, even with all the Christian ministries that have intervened to try to do something about this situation, from the CIA fact book, there are still 10,000 street children in Uganda, which is incredibly sad. Another couple of details, I don't know if you know, the average age in Uganda is 15.7.
Yes.
That's very young.
Very young, yeah.
And the average income is on par with about $2,100 a year in Uganda. So, things cost a lot. Labor is cheap.
Yeah.
Life is cheap, often cheap there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that stuck out to me. And even more so than it makes something like Wonder Afrika, it's so clear being there, like, oh, like Wonder Afrika is it's part of the solution, a big part of the solution to this thing. Because you're right, it's a nation of poor children, essentially.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. And at Wonder Afrika, they have a mommy and a daddy.
Exactly.
So those relationships are very crucial. And Nicholas and Gabby do such a great job with that. They are mom and dad.
Yes, definitely. It's not very often that you see people who are able to take in strangers like that, who are able to take in children like that, who are, I would almost think of Nicholas and Gabby as like athletes of love. I mean, they are just good at loving people.
They really are. Yeah. And they've always been so good. Did you feel they took good care of you?
Absolutely. Their hospitality was, it moved me to tears. And more, especially, it took us maybe like a day to kind of get to know each other, right?
Yeah.
And so for that first day, it was very much kind of like, we were kind of honored guests, right? As outsiders. And then so quickly, though, they folded me into the rhythms of their family, in ways that I wanted to. Now, I could have just been there and allowed myself to be served and done that. But they also were very happy to let me hang out with the children, hang out with some of the older kids, to talk to them about what life was like at Wonder Afrika.
Absolutely. And I so appreciated that you went out and you picked crops.
Yeah.
What are some other things you did?
I mean, we washed dishes together. We went out and I helped chop up some jackfruit, which is kind of like this big melon thing.
Yeah. Ever had that before?
I had never had that before, totally. Going out and harvesting corn for dinner was a really wonderful experience. And not only I appreciated it, as you know, I don't know if I'd call myself a skeptic, but I like to investigate things. I like to really figure out what's going on. I probably come into situations, maybe like a little bit curious at the least.
So let's talk about what your expectations were compared to what you saw going on there.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay. Like I think a lot of people, when I first hear something's happening in Africa, automatically, and this is my own prejudice, but I'll the first thing I'll think is like, oh, there's probably a scam going on, right?
Yeah.
And when I heard that you were going to Wonder Afrika, when you were going to Uganda, I also thought like, oh no, like my dad has fell victim, you know?
Yeah.
And I might have even said that to you at the time, I can't remember. By the time this trip came around, because this is your third trip, that's why I wanted to come with you to see like, are these people for real? Like what's happening exactly with my dad here? And what I found was just the opposite of a scam. You know, I found people of deep courage, deep faith. I mean, faith and courage like we don't even have to express here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Living radically the mission of Jesus Christ to care for orphans, to care for people that don't have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And you got to know some of the kids.
Yeah.
Anything about any of those conversations that stood out?
Yeah. So like I was describing, you know, as some people probably know, you know, in my previous life before I was a pastor, I was a public school teacher. And so, you know, part of that training as a teacher is to, you know, like be on the lookout for signs of abuse or be on the lookout for like, you know, there are things happening here that aren't quite copacetic.
Yeah.
And so like when I would do things like go out to harvest corn, I would ask kids, you know, after we built the rapport with each other and had some conversations, I'd ask them like, okay, just between you and me, like, what's going on here at Wonder Afrika? Like, what are Nicholas and Gabby like? You know, are they cool? Do they overwork you guys? Are they, you know, what's happening? You know, kind of trying to like really open the door for, hey, this is the time to.
Yeah, if you want to unload.
Yeah, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And to a person, all the children I spoke to said, no, actually, on the contrary, these people have saved my life. And even the young ones knew that. Like even the young ones are like wise and aware enough to see that their counterparts are living on the streets in Kampala, and that's a very frightening experience.
That would be for sure. Okay, this would be a good question. And so, having been there, is it something you'd like to go back and do again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I fully intend to go back. I want to take, not only do I want to take myself back, but I want to take the people I care about. You know, I want to take my son with me. I want to take my friends with me. In part because I recognize that there's really no, you know, there's no way to fully explain to people unless they live it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I wish that all of my friends and my family, the people I care about, my folks at church and my wife, even Amy, I wish they could all just go.
Yeah.
But we can't really do that. But I would love for them to be able to see what you've seen. And they've all invested with me and stood with me in all of this. And it's so awesome to have your reflection, having been there. You know, and I understand that because when I first considered getting involved with Nicholas and Gabby, I wanted an American witness, you know, but you're my American witness of what's going on there. And so I'm glad that you want to go back. And thank you so much for coming along with me. And I was, you know, just so impressed with your communication ability and how you loved our people there so well. You did a great job. Thank you.
It's hard not to. Thank you. I want to say something about, though, the people that support this work who maybe aren't able to go. You know, it reminds me of Jesus is telling, I think, Peter at the end of the Gospels. And Jesus says something to the effect of like, you know, blessed are you for believing in me and you've known me. But how great is the faith of the people who have, you know, never get to actually know Jesus the person and yet still believe. And so, you know, when I think some of the stories that you've told me about the way that Amy has supported the Wonder Afrika project and a lot of your other friends, the way that they have radically given, literally based on faith.
Yeah, it is.
To me, that's almost, you know, that's kind of like more impressive than the person who goes like me, you know, like, of course I'm going to support it now. Like I've been there, I've seen it. Like I would, I have to. but I'm really impressed with the people that are able to find that place in their heart, even though they haven't been.
Absolutely. That is very commendable faith toward God. And it is very appreciated faith in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So hi, Mama Amy. Thank you so much for allowing Judge Stephen to come in Uganda and Joshua. It's really a blessing to Wonder family. We are so blessed to have you in America helping us. And thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for the financial support you've rendered. Thank you for all the sacrifices you've made for us. May the good God bless you always and reward you abundantly. We love you dearly.